There was a time when the United Kingdom was revered around the world. In fact, this nation was once known as Great Britain. It isn't anymore. It's not a fashion thing. The truth is, there's precious little great left in Britain. In fact, some might even argue that the United Kingdom really isn't that united anymore either. Despite being a relatively tiny island, our military forces were equally feared and admired around the world. With their ability to uphold justice with nothing more than a whistle and a stick, our police force was the envy of other countries. Our engineers, our manufacturing companies, and our architects influenced not only their homeland, but countries around the world. We dug coal, forged steel, made cars, locomotives, and ships. We took giant technological leaps and we shaped the world. Sadly, generations, including my own, have allowed all of that leadership, respect, and influence to be eroded. Our military is a shadow of its former self, starved of funding. Our police force is no longer on the beat. It's too busy taking care of paperwork and answering accusations of corruption, scandal, excessive use of force, and institutional racism. Our road network is crumbling, and we can't see the construction of a railway line through to completion without suddenly getting cold feet. That's cold feet. Our education was once the benchmark to which others aspired. It gave us scientists, doctors, poets and writers, great men and great women who would do great things. And while some of our universities are still sought after today, our mainstream education system has evolved into a ceaseless production line for the woke and the work-shy. With a few notable exceptions, we make precious little. And when we do undertake major construction, civil engineering, or infrastructure projects, we now look to the French for their expertise. We look to the Chinese for their money, and we look to Eastern Europe for the workers to bring it to fruition. In fact, construction and demolition is one of the key areas in which our former global leadership has been most noticeably usurped. According to a 2022 report, UK construction productivity halved during the 18 years starting in 2004. UK construction productivity lags behind those of Germany, Austria, Italy, Poland, Romania, and Hungary. The UK has the unenviable reputation of being one of the most expensive places in the world to build anything, while London has overtaken Geneva as the most expensive city in the world in which to build. In the sphere of demolition, we've seen the UK's global dominance threatened and in some cases overtaken. There are now elite-level contractors across Scandinavia, Europe, New Zealand, and Australia that are a match for any British demolition firm. And this isn't because these other countries have hit the afterburners to catch and, in some instances, overtake us. It's that we've hit the buffers. We've run aground on a never-ending skill shortage, been hauled below the waterline by endless bureaucracy, scuppered by excessive ego, conceit, and self-regard. The loss of leadership begins, appropriately, at the top. Not content with burdening demolition and construction companies with the suffocating weight of regulation and bureaucracy, consecutive governments have consistently failed to plan beyond the next general election, causing widespread uncertainty and exacerbating the peaks and troughs of a notoriously up and down industry. But the industry itself must shoulder some of the blame. If you're looking for advances in sustainability and environmental stewardship, you look to the Netherlands and the Nordic countries. If you're looking for giant leaps in electric-powered machines and autonomous machines, you look to China. If you look to the UK, you find an industry that has mastered the art of doing things the way they've always been done. There are exceptions, of course. JCB's pioneering work on the development of a hydrogen combustion engine is both notable and admirable. But they are the exception rather than the rule. The UK is in a rut. Its demolition and construction sectors are equally bogged down. We can't rely on other nations to falter and to fall. If we're to reclaim our position as global leaders, we need to do it ourselves. We need to stop resting on our laurels and surviving on past glories. And we need to accept, belatedly, that the way we've always done things was okay in the past, but it doesn't cut it in the present, and it will leave us trailing in the future.